Thank you, Brian and Aaron, and hello, everyone. In prime time, the New York police of 2016 could be showcased as heroic, like Blue Bloods, or deeply flawed and sometimes corrupt, as in Shades of Blue. On local newscasts, cops on the beat often generate heat for the controversial way they nab real or alleged lawbreakers. Now the New York City Police Department has launched a new video advocacy, NYPD News, intended to spotlight unique ways people in uniform serve the public. Here's an example dealing with Breast Cancer Awareness Month, straight out of Brooklyn.
At the Barclays Center. We're at the 125th and St. Nicholas Avenue subway station. The NYPD celebrated Black History Month. We're here in Chinatown on the Lower East Side.
We're going to get more people involved this year, and we're going to make the precinct go pinker.
We invited the community to meet us here, and the community met us here.
I'm Khadijah Carter at the 911 call center.
And these are highly trained, highly skilled canines, as are their handlers.
We're really getting involved with some of these territorial crews, and that's one of the major concerns here in Brooklyn North.
Much more, much more.
A key architect of this outreach joins us now. You saw her in the clip, Brooklyn-based NYPD communications strategist, Khadijah Carter. Khadijah, welcome to BK Live.
Thank you for having me.
What is this outreach designed to do?
Well, the outreach is designed to engage with the communities and to show the communities how the NYPD, how we're reaching out and, trying to connect and engage and highlight a lot of the positive things that the police are doing within the communities.
How long has the department looked at doing something like this?
Well, our unit, Strategic Communications, we launched last summer, but we were already working through using social media platforms to engage with communities. We have over 116 Twitter accounts, all of the precincts, but now we've really rolled into using videos to highlight a lot of the positive things we're doing.
Now, these videos are available on Facebook, on Twitter, which, if you have most smart TV sets, whether it is Samsung or Vizio or LG, you can actually see these videos on the television set.
Absolutely. NYPDnews.com, we have articles as well as the videos posted there.
How often do you come out with this series, and how did you get involved with it personally?
Well, I've been working for the department for about a year, and my background is in PR and in journalism. So we pretty much married the two. And what we've been doing is going out to the different events that different precincts are hosting, as well as events that we have at headquarters. And we just speak to officers, the communities that we serve, as well as executives and politicians, too.
Now, you've timed some of these videos, some of these reports to specific months. I mentioned Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You've also there's one coming out this month dealing with autism. Right. And we're going to show a clip in a second from another video you've done that deals with a unique community project situation.
Yes.
Our whole mission is to empower at-risk inner-city youth become law-abiding citizens. So now when this partnership program opportunity presented itself, we decided to do a whole band, showing that we can come together and be harmonious.
It has shown people, especially in our community, that we can bond with the police.
What we are doing with them is letting them better understand that there's conversation between cops and community.
We try anything without community involvement and support. We're like one hand clapping.
Things happen in the community where the partners get involved, pass information on to the NYPD. They reacted quickly based on that and solve a lot of crime.
It takes all of the village, including the NYPD.
Bringing togetherness, and that's what it's about, unity. We need the unity, and I'm seeing that here today.
Now, if you saw that clip, you may have noticed a connection between something that happened earlier in today's program. Remember Tolu Green? Well, you just saw his father, Richard Green, the noted Brooklyn community activist who was featured in that video. Talk about how you were able to get a hold of him and what he was talking about with that particular clip.
Dr. Green has been an instrumental part of working with the NYPD in the community for many years. He has worked with our community affairs division, and we decided to honor him as well as another community partner to highlight what an important role they have been playing with the NYPD in engaging the communities.
Now, how do you select the subjects that you do on the video, on these videos? Some of them are Brooklyn, some of them from other boroughs, and you're based in Brooklyn. So how do you highlight some of the things around here?
Well, I work out of police headquarters in Manhattan, so we have precincts throughout the city. So if a precinct is having a community-based event, we go and cover it. Or if there is, for instance, we had a Black History Month event in February, we had a Women's History Month event in March at police headquarters, and so we just highlighted the program, interviewed many of the attendees, civilians as well as police officers, and that's how we highlight what we do.
So what kind of feedback, what kind of impact are these videos so far having, not only on the general public, but also on the precincts themselves that in fact have to feed you the information for the stories you cover?
Well, it's important that we communicate externally and internally. So we also have our intranet, and we highlight a lot of internal initiatives and programs and events to our members of the service. And then the public has received everything we're doing really well, because when we're out there, they're like, oh, who's that reporter? And I'm like, I'm with NYPD News, because again, the point is to highlight the many positive things that the department is doing to engage the community and to connect with the community.
Now, was it always the idea for you to be the on-camera reporter, the on-camera journalist, or was it basically going to be initially, I'm going to be behind the scenes, I'll produce it, and have somebody else who may have been in the department longer, who has more communication experience, do it?
Well, everything we do, everything you see on screen, it's a whole team behind it, right? I'm the face of the NYPD, but we have producers, we have graphic designers, videographers, et cetera, who play an important role in this. And it's a team. Strategic communications, this is our role, is to engage the community, to highlight what we're doing internally and externally.
Mm-hmm. Is there any particular subject so far that has impacted you personally, that you felt more of a connection to, that, you know, hey, this is an important story that we're getting out, and I'm responsible for having that be showcased by people?
Well, as the earlier clip showed, the NYPD Blue Goes Pink breast cancer initiative was dear to my heart because I'm a breast cancer survivor. And it was important to show that breast cancer touches the lives of so many people, directly or indirectly. So I spearheaded that program because it was important. It was very personal to me. And our latest initiative, Autism Awareness Month, is very important to me also because I have friends who have children who have autism, and many members of the service are dealing with autism. So it's important to show that even if a police officer, you see them every day, a lot of them have personal issues that they're also dealing with too.
For about a decade, the New York City Transit Department did a monthly television series called Transit. It was carried by both local cable systems in the New York area, like Time Warner Cable, Cablevision Systems, RCN, that carries this program. It was also, I believe it did get an outreach on social media for a while. It was carried on some of the New York City local channels. Do you think that down the road we're going to see, let's say, an NYPD News, a monthly show, you know, popping up on a channel like BRIC TV or a channel like New York One, or maybe on some of the local TV stations?
Well, we are moving forward at a rapid pace. We're producing all these amazing videos, so I wouldn't be surprised where these show up. But right now, you can go to nypdnews.com and see most of our videos there.
Mm-hmm. So what's coming up? What are some of the things we look forward to in the next few months or so, aside from the autism statement coming up?
Well, we have, Vision Zero in May. We have different initiatives, Mental Health Awareness Month in May. We have a lot of different initiatives coming up. We have, coming up this summer, excuse me, it's, I can't remember the name of it right now, but we have a lot of different community-based events coming up.
Have any police departments outside New York City or around the country, have they contacted you about, hey, we like what you're doing, we see what is up to in NYC, let's take the same idea and adapt it for Chicago or Los Angeles or San Francisco or somewhere else around the country?
Okay, let me just circle back. It's called National Night Out, and that's in August, and that's a really important citywide community event that we'll be highlighting. But yes, we have gone to Vermont and different other cities to help train other police departments on how to utilize social media to connect with the communities they serve.
What's the toughest thing and what's the easiest thing about what you do and putting this series together?
Well, I love what I do, And when I joined this department, it was important for me to be able to help to highlight some of the important things that the NYPD is doing, because as we know, there's a lot of different issues swirling around out there. But I like to show the human side of the police officers, because sometimes I don't think people connect with them that way. And just like everyone else, everyone has a story to tell, and there's a lot of good things happening in the NYPD that the public needs to know about.
Mm-hmm. Are there things coming up that involve Brooklyn that we should be watching out for in future segments? Any particular stories or particular precincts that are doing some unique things?
Well, there's, I mean, as far as I know right now, I would have to get back to you about that, but you can always go to nypdnews.com and see what we're doing. And follow follow the actual precincts. Each precinct has a Twitter handle, and they promote a lot of their events that way.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts about maybe, as you know, our program and this particular channel is available on YouTube 24/7. Any thoughts about maybe taking these videos to YouTube? Because a lot of people are now watching YouTube, not just on their smartphones. They are watching now on the television set.
Right. We already have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/NYPD. Mm-hmm. So they can look at a lot of our videos there.
Yeah. Brian, Aaron, any questions for you?
You know, I'm just curious, do you have law enforcement in your family?
Actually, I do not. I grew up in Brooklyn, and I've had to, and I've seen the police in my community. And like I said before, there's been a lot going on within the last couple of years, you know, positive and negative, swirling around in the media. And it was important for me I wanted to work for the department because I wanted to help shine a light on the positive things going on within the police department.
Just the reason the thought comes to mind is because, you know, so many times, you know, these officers, you know, they put their lives on the line every day that they go into work. And as we know, there is a plethora of negative images circulating around with the NYPD. But, you know, as a producer, you know, I was just curious as to maybe there might be some future segments where we actually get to maybe hear about the families of some of the officers. You were saying, you know, the human aspect of their lives. So I was just curious.
That's actually a project that we're putting together right now. It's going to be called New York's Finest, and it's highlighting the human interest stories of the NYPD. Nothing police related, but more so highlighting what they do outside of work. Because, again, they put on their uniforms every day, but they have lives outside of work. And some of them are accomplished pianists, clowns. There's so many wonderful stories that I think people need to see so they can, again, see beyond the badge, the gun, et cetera, and see these police officers as regular people who have amazing stories.
And thanks to you and your unit, they're going to have a chance to see those stories, and hopefully on a more frequent basis. Khadijah Carter, communications strategist for NYPD, and the person behind NYPD News, thank you again for being with us on BK Live today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All the very best to you. And for all the details and videos of this outreach, here's where you go. It's nypdnews.com. That's nypdnews.com. It's also available on Facebook and Twitter. And if you have a smart TV set, chances are you can find it there. Next Monday here on BK Live, we will cover the Made in New York TV tax credit bill recently introduced in the state legislature. The premise, have more diversity behind the scenes. Your new TV series gets the credit. The Writers Guild of America supports the bill and will break an advocacy drive for it next week. A WJ East official will join me in the studio, possibly with the bill's legislator. That is next Monday right here. And coming up later this Monday, two big TV things. Powerpuff Girls comes back for the first time in 20 years on Cartoon Network at 6 o'clock. And then a very big moment for sports television. TBS becomes the first television network other than a broadcaster to carry the NCAA Men's Championship Final, Villanova versus North Carolina. And you better believe that TBS will probably, no matter how the game goes, they will get their biggest audience in their history.
Congratulations to TBS.
All right, come on in and see.